It's simple. The minute there is a know-how what it can be used for, and at the same time there's a know-how how to build these applications and or use it and integrate with ERP, I mean that's when it's going to take off. Once companies and people understand that, okay, that makes sense and it's valuable, then adoption is going to be massive. I actually think at this point already has started, but it's only limited due to the lack of know-how and the lack of knowledge.
Do you think the lack of know-how and knowledge is the same in Europe as in Asia?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same way.
Well, I'll just move on the question to Jan, Peter, to answer.
Okay, well, I think the lack of knowledge in Europe is actually probably bigger than in Asia. But I think a lot of, looking from a European perspective in this one, is there's a lot of rigidity in thinking in Europe. If you think about the industries and how they've managed it and how they've organized everything, that they're not necessarily completely open for a few completely new technology that allows a different way of collaboration, different way of cooperation with each other. And to break that, the only way we can do this is by building applications, by proving how it works. I mean, Jaroslav used the example earlier this week and said, when internet started, the bakery didn't see any necessity to have a web page. Now, no one can survive without a web page. There's no company that can survive without a web page. So we need to start the same way. We need to start in building blockchain solutions and proving that it has an additional benefit. Then it will grow. I'm convinced about that.
I love so much this question when I went all around the world, Hong Kong to Japan as experience speakers. Basically, this question is a majority questions to me. When I talk about this kind of challenges, this kind of problems, statement in terms of blockchain adoption. When I graduated as a law student, worked in a legal firm in bank, and 2012 worked in big data company. 2014 start to study blockchain, Bitcoin, and 2016 I fully changed. I can say that reverted everything. I sleep, I eat, I drink with blockchain. 2016 I changed all my business. So the challenges that I face, please allow me to share my humble journey in this blockchain world. We cannot ignore this technology, but we cannot blindly adopt it. And we need to have that kind of sense, make sense on what is the problem statement. So people don't understand. Now, because of this hype, because of trending on blockchain worldwide, you can search in Google's every 3 seconds, 3 million data people search on blockchain every day, every 3 seconds in Google. Means that this kind of trending is very, very big. And people think that everything can be blockchain. You know, I met somebody, I make secret his name. He said, Effendy, I have a business of oranges and banana. I want to do blockchain for my banana and my oranges from food industry. And I want to do blockchain. I said to him, yes, you can do blockchain, maybe instead of a payment transaction. But if you want to go for the supply chain, you need to have the nodes, the networks. If you want to go for the monitoring of supply chains, you need to understand that the farmers also must use blockchain. Farmers also must understand how to put the data, right? Blockchain is just a database for my understanding. Without cryptocurrencies, it's just a slow database. Yeah, of course, we can develop a lot of things behind underlying the product. So the challenges is first, again, 3 A's: awareness, acceptance, and this kind of adoption. Awareness, people still don't understand. I did some feasibility study research, collaboration with one top university in Malaysia. We do some sampling for 1,000 people around Malaysia. So we can say that 90% still didn't understand last year on blockchain. Blockchain. For them, blockchain is Bitcoin. Blockchain is money. You know, just a trading and then volatile. So because of that, I founded Crypto Valley Malaysia after I went to Switzerland, Zug, last year. Presented my project on the decentralized mobile wallet because I'm kind of a hybrid human, technical and also this legal. So I learned something from Switzerland experience. The government is decentralized, but not decentralized in terms of you want to again centralized. For me, we need to combine decentralization and also centralization for some data sensitive. So second, awareness, and secondly is a what you call regulation. The problem in Malaysia, government. Sorry, we have some government people here. It's very slow to understand the blockchain and adapt it in regulation. So because of that, a lot of problems in terms of scams. When Forbes reported that 90% scam from the ICO, this is very bad news to the blockchain world. But Japan is very smart. I went to Tokyo several times, do some R&D, be a speaker there. Japan, the government by FSA, Financial Service Authority, they issued the first crypto license to exchanges, and they charge 50% for the Bitcoin holder, the tax. They make money on that. Singapore also doing very well in Malaysia, and I think also some country like maybe Hong Kong. What happened? I asked my friend from Japan, they are in the industry blockchain, they said at least, when you have clear regulation on the blockchains, so easy for you to monitor, and also to put some regulation to people who do scam. Why? I did some research in Malaysia, for example. When you claim you are in cryptocurrencies, but you cannot prove by digital proofprint, and then when government, authority want to take charge, they use lawyers and defend themselves that I use cryptocurrencies, but how you have to charge me? Because cryptocurrencies is a grey area. So that's a challenge. You need to put some to put some regulation. Because of that, I think Malaysia focus now more beyond the cryptocurrencies. They focus on the industry's level adoption for blockchain. But still, we can say that in the feasibility studies, still in the process, not yet in implementation. And when I knew about SophiaTX, ERP, SAP. Wow, this is marvelous. Hopefully, SophiaTX can do something big. Maybe we can work together. Peter Speijer Malaysia is very honored to work together, and also blockchain academy also want to put SophiaTX as part of the modules. The best module for learning on ERP for the use case. So it takes time.
On question I posed.
I'll just touch a bit on the government regulation.
Yes.
Of course, I'm an accountant. Of course, I think Malaysia talk about tax. Anywhere in the world, government misabuse using tax. And also they want to create an efficient way of collecting. So in China, I understand that if you want to issue a tax invoice, you have to buy a tax invoice from the government. So what happens is, if you want to sell 100,000 worth of things, if the tax is 10%, you have to buy 10,000 worth of tax invoices to sell 100,000 things. So there's before you even sell, you have to have buy the tax. You have to pay the tax money to the government. So I think it's a very efficient way for the government to collect. So in future, this blockchain will enable the government to collect even more efficiently, where every invoice will have a government tax signature there. In a sense, it gives what you call an invoice number that is running, but government has a point on it, which will be very powerful for ERP systems. To be adopted. That's my opinion.